I always like watching new animes, and ever since seeing the artwork, the promotional artwork for the maid I hired recently is mysterious, it should be renamed to Suspicious, because the English version, that's the only thing that they talk about in this. But I generally really liked it. I liked the character design, and I really was tempted on buying all the manga, and the fact that I got it kind of like in my wish list to kind of buy much later on, so that I could actually read the manga, see what it's all like. Now seeing the anime, to me, I'm a bit kind of up and down with it. When I get into this sort of stuff, I kind of like it or leave it. I will see what it's like. If it will kind of tempt me, I'll read some of the manga and I'll kind of go, oh, I really like this. When I see a character that I'm drawn to, I just kind of want to dive in, watch the anime. And when finding out this had an anime adaptation, I was really happy. And then when I found it in English, I was like, oh, I'm even more happy than what it is. So I decided that I would give this a go. Now, if you don't know that the maid I hired recently is mysterious, then what this anime is, at the beginning, from what I've noticed, is that you have two main characters to begin with. You have Yuri as well as Lilith. Lilith is the main female protagonist in this anime, and Yuri is the male protagonist in this, who I'm guessing is roughly, a young age and stuff like that. And Yuri is obviously probably a little bit older. I don't know their ages yet. I'm guessing that's going to pop up at some point. The story goes from episode 1 that Yuri's family isn't doing very well financially. They live in a big house, and thus therefore he has to get rid of all his staff members. And Lilith pops up much later on, maybe a few days later, and says, hey, I want to be a live-in maid. I will live in and I will work for you. And I generally thought, okay, maybe that there is something different. Maybe Lilith is an assassin, a complete person that no one knows anything about, and she's hiding out from a mob, and this is the best way. Or I generally kind of thought, after watching the intro, oh, are you actually more of a childhood friend that has come back, and Yuri knows nothing about Lilith, and apart from the eyes, and he won't realize until kind of much later on. Now, I kind of like the stories in this. I kind of like the way it is. It's kind of split up into little parts where it's like, hey, I'm going to do this, and then hey, I'm going to do that, and then we're going to all come together at the very end. But the one thing that really made me go, I don't really like this, and it's kind of putting me off, is the fact that Yuri, in pretty much anything he says about her, is, oh, she is suspicious. Oh, she is suspicious. Oh, she is suspicious. And that's the only thing he goes on. He's watching her like a hawk, rather than actually talk about her and say, hey, can I ask you some questions? Why are you here? What are you doing? He does kind of ask these questions, but every single time it's like, oh, you're so suspicious. And I swear to God, at some point, and it probably has happened because I've only watched episode 1, that he is going to drop the word, oh, she's so sus. And I'm going to go, okay, you're using the new lingo of the world. Yay. Now, I get that she is a new person. She's saying hey, I'll be a living maid. I can live here and then I'll do all this. But I kind of feel like these are the sort of questions that you'd ask straight away. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are we here? Why are you here? And then maybe she can give a proper reason. But every single time that he sees her, if she admits it later on, so she'll be like, oh, I was in the kitchen cooking, making better meals, learning how to better myself. Or hey, I was in the library learning how to do this to better myself and be a better maid and stuff like that. But he's like, oh no, she's a sorceress and she's gonna cast a spell and she's made a love potion, and then I know her name, and she knows mine, but no, I know her name and I have more power right now. And I generally thought, what the actual hell? I can understand this is episode 1, and maybe in the next couple of episodes it kind of drops down. But from watching it for the first one, I'm kind of, I'm sus about it. I'm suspicious on how this anime is going to be. One thing I will give this off the bat is that if there are any feelings between these two people right now, if they are of age or they are around similar age, then they've admitted that they like each other, especially Yuri, who's every single chance he gets is oh my God, when I look into your eyes, my heart beats. Oh my God, I really like you. Oh my God, and this happens. And I don't know if maybe that might be a young age that he has to get his feelings out straight away, or that he doesn't know what he's like himself. I kind of thought, okay, this is all right. I can understand. Just don't do anything weird later that people would kind of like regret watching. I do kind of really want to watch the rest of this because I want to see where it kind of goes. The only thing is, I just don't want him to go like, oh, you're so suspicious. You're so suspicious. You're so suspicious. She's so suspicious. And it's just, that's the entire thing all the way through. You kind of hooked me in, but I could take it or leave it. I could watch this episode, and then in like 3 to 4 months, I could watch the rest of the series. I'm not kind of wanting to know more, but I'm kind of curious. I know they're on, I think, like episode 7, but I'm curious to know what happens. And I want to know how he's affording that entire house, because I think that house would be really expensive, to be fair. One thing I will notice, I thought this was set back in the day or something like that, but no, it's set in present time because they talk about online. They have a computer. So I was like, oh, okay, I didn't kind of see that coming whatsoever. I think this anime is fun, and I think it has a lot of potential to go all the way through. Is it something that I will generally really like later on, or is it something that I'm going to be kind of like, I'm going to watch a few episodes, see what it's like, maybe review it, maybe combine the episodes rather than single episode reviews and stuff. But for what it is so far, I'm generally kind of being okay with this. I think it's all right for what it is. Is it something that is going to make me go, I need to watch the next episode? I don't know. I've only watched episode 1 so far. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Have you seen the new maid that I hired is mysterious? Because I generally think they just really need to rename it to is suspicious, because that's literally what the kid does all the time, is that's all he says, and it just really annoys me. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I will see you in the next video. See ya.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。